Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday brand night. I'm Sherry Danzig, and tonight we have some great stories on our grounding mat, and you might even hear about the precision. So, Nikken, this is one of many, many products and categories that have to do with reconnecting to nature, feeling good every day, and having these tools that are accessible. So, you just simply use them, wear them, stand on them, cover yourself up in it, and you feel better every day. And this is such a better choice than popping pills, right? So we're going to jump in here, and a bunch of great people have some great stories to share, nice and sweet. So Dee, if you would please jump in and share a story about grounding.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Dee. I'm outside of Chicago, and a good friend was having a lot of trouble with this nervous leg, jerking, twitching, waking her up at night. She'd have to get out of bed and try to walk it out. And so it was very disruptive to her sleep and her comfort, obviously. But she was willing to try the grounding pad. And I talked to her maybe a week or two after she got it, and she said, Dee, my leg's quiet at night. I'm sleeping all night. And then I talked to her a few months later, and she said, I thought it wasn't working anymore, and I realized the attachment had disconnected from the pad. She had kicked it apart or something during the night, so when she reconnected it, I should say, she was feeling good again. So she's really grateful to have good night's sleep and not have all that action on her legs at bedtime. Thank you.
Sherry, you're muted.
Well, I can jump in and do my story. I have a Kinko ground story too. I have chronically tight shoulders, and these right here, I forgot what they're called. And my grounding mat um, always seems to relax those so much, whether it's sleeping at night or just lying down on them during the day. I just put it behind me and wrap it around my shoulders. I could be even watching TV or whatever those ways. So it's one of my favorite ways to use it.
Thank you, Jeannie. Okay, Bayla, you've got a story you're going to share about grounding.
When I first got the grounding pad, I actually had high hopes for it because I'd been finding out about grounding for many, many years and was unable to locate a trustworthy um, company to buy the grounding mat from. And when Nikken came into my life, I was in not the best of shape. And one of the things that I had extreme problems with was standing on my feet without wearing padded slippers or shoes or something on my feet. I didn't have the stability to take even a couple of steps without feeling like I was going to fall down. And then the grounding pad came. And after a few weeks, I noticed that when I got out of bed and I missed my slippers, I was standing. I wasn't feeling like I was going to fall.
Hmm.
And so I tried taking a few steps. Well, I walked the entire length of my room. And so that was very, very encouraging for me. And then I moved it up to my knees and got more stability in my walking with that. So I'm a huge fan, and since early December, I you've been hearing my stories about falling, and I've been using it. I use it every night, anyways, but I've been that's been a big help for me to get some sleep at night,
Mm,
along with my sleep system.
that's awesome. Thanks, Bayla. Debbie, can you unmute and share?
Yeah, forgive me, I'm in my car. I had to run out of an exercise class I'd gotten into tonight. But as far as grounding, I when Nikken first came out with the grounding products, I looked up grounding. I really didn't really understand grounding, and I would hear people talk about earthing. Then I found about how, I know Nikken had said as far as like connecting with the earth, getting back to nature and that sort of thing. But most of my stories involve my husband, Eric, and he had an issue with his back. And with whatever that was happening, I grabbed my handy dandy precision tool. I love the big magnetic ball on there. I grabbed that and I massaged his back with it. I had connected it so that it would be grounded, and I massaged his back with that, which helped tremendously. But to seal the deal, I put the grounding mat in the bed, and I lost my grounding mat because now I no longer have it. He took it and he has kept it, and he does not complain about his back. So, and he's a tough sale. He's a tough sale, but he does swear by that grounding mat. So he loves it.
A happy husband is a good makes for a happy home, right? Speaking of husbands, Bill Cottle, can you share a story or two about, because I know you've had a lot of experiences with the
Sure.
grounding.
Well, unfortunately, behind my name, I normally have PhD. And when Nikken introduced the product, I wasn't able to be at that particular event. And I thought I better find out about this. So it was in November, and we'd had a skiff of snow, about 2 inches. And I went outside. I put my park on. I put something covered my bald head, and I went outside. And we're watching a Boise State football game through the window of the kitchen. And my wife says, "What's wrong with you? What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just experimenting." So I'm barefoot, sitting out on a chair on the grass with about 2 inches of snow. And, it was cold for about 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't cold. My feet are actually warm. So I sat there for about 20 minutes until my wife said, "Enough." So 20 minutes grounding in November in the snow. Now, I already sleep in a Nikken sleep system, so I'm cocooned and I always sleep great. But that night, I even believe I slept better. So I could hardly wait for my mat to arrive. We started doing presentations. And the two other stories I'll share quickly is I have one under my keyboard at my desk, because whenever I'm sitting here typing, I want to make sure I'm grounded. And then the other one is my daughter is a kindergarten teacher, and she has children. If you know what's going on in the world today with kids now and how they've been disrupted since 2020, she took that to school and it became their grounding station. And she got permission from the principal to allow students to come in, and they would have to take turns putting, I have pictures of both hands on the grounding pad for 5 minutes. And she said it's amazing how it calms them down.
That's amazing. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I've had a bunch of stories myself. I have a customer that was a referral from another customer. So she didn't know much about the products, but she had heard something about grounding. And so she fell in love with the magnetic chair pad for sleeping, but she'd heard about grounding. And so because she had such a great experience with the magnets, she wanted to try, because there's other grounding pads out there. She wanted to try Nikken's, and she said it has made a world of difference for her with how well she sleeps. So I just want to leave you with this. If you're listening to this as a recording, whoever is sharing this with you, if you're still confused about what is earthing, what is grounding, what's the science behind it, there are some great videos and some great papers that you can watch or listen to that explain it, so it kind of takes the woo-woo. In fact, I think that's the name of one of the videos, is taking the woo-woo out of it, because it's really basic science about how the earth is so important, and we don't usually spend so much time connected to the earth. So ask for more information, figure it out, because Nikken has a phenomenal grounding pad. Yes, there's other ones out there, but the integrity of Nikken's products is second to none. So I hope you enjoyed listening to all these stories, and you will get all the information you need so that you too can be grounded.